All right, we just have one thing to check. As always, and I hope the we're outside again. I know it's a little bit noisy. It could get a little bit noisy, but the here we go. The background is just so cool. It could a little bit noisy with the wind. Let's see what we can do about that. So anyway, good afternoon. Hey, oh, I'm honored. Thank you. Thank you. Hi, ladies. Okay, so it's Sunday afternoon here where I am. And again, I'm outside. I'm outside because it's just is such a beautiful day. And like I was saying earlier, I know that it's a little bit breezy, so we might get a little bit of wind noise. I hope not, because I've covered the mics. I buffered the mics, so we might not. And the car's going to go by, a vehicle's going to go by once in a while. But it's a beautiful day. And I just wanted to share it with you. I'm not going to be very long because today we're having some difficulties. I was to have gone on earlier this morning, but I'm in the Caribbean. On this little island, and we sometimes have technical difficulties, by which I mean that sometimes the electricity goes away. And that's what happened earlier today, because I wanted to be on in the morning, my morning. And then electricity went. And by the time it came back on, I had a meeting, so I couldn't get back on here. I'm on now, and I'm going to make it quick, just in case. So anyway, thank you for being on. Thank you. And do me the favor, please, of clicking like, share, follow, subscribe. Join me on this journey. It's Elevation 2023. And all through the week, we talk about during the week, we talk about the five areas in which we're working this year, which are health, style, wealth, personal power, and relationships. And on the weekend, we just do cool stuff. I realized that Friday, I thought about it before. Friday is one of those days when people are doing all kinds of things. And so sometimes, so this Friday we got a little bit distracted too. I'm sorry about that. And yesterday we had some difficulties. Today we had the difficulties again, but now I'm on. And the theme for this weekend was, who are you? One thing that we're working on this year for Elevation 2023 is elevating. That was my nephew driving away, if you hear that car noise. Elevation 2023 is us, women, whoever we are, taking the time, organizing ourselves, being specific and intentional about something this year. We always are, but we are picking something specific this year that we want to work on together, so that at the end of the year we can celebrate together. And I'm really, really looking forward to that, because I'm inviting everybody to come to this little island. It's fun. In Christmas we have our festival, which some people call Carnival. You might have seen, if you go on my site, you'll see me in my Carnival costume for last year, which is so much fun. Total fun. You get to be on the road and dance and eat and drink and chat with people and misbehave if you want, within reason, of course. Yes, within reason. And just have total fun and end the year having fun and start the year. Because right now, for example, there's Carnival in Trinidad. People are having a ball. This is the last weekend. Carnival ends on Tuesday. Last lap, right? And then that's it for the rest of the year. But these few weeks of Carnival, the idea about Carnival now is that it gets to be this time, this space that you get to just express and release and just let go. There's a Jewish festival, Purim, I think it's called. It's a day in which you're allowed to eat and drink as much as you like, and just kind of, do whatever you like. Because what I read is that, what I've been told by my friends is that the elders recognize that human beings are human beings, and we need these opportunities to just sort of, get things out of our system. And Purim is one of those. Carnival is for us that. I know when I was a child, there was a man. he was a teacher, and he also is a very respected man in the community. He was a teacher, and he also was a lay reader in his church. And every New Year's Day, he'd get dressed up and join the jump up. And some people thought it, out of order, because of course, very religious people and so on have very conservative people don't necessarily do this carnival thing, but they thought it was strange for him. And I said that to him one day, because he was a friend of my family, my mother, my father. They asked him one day, "How come you go to jump up?" And he said, "Listen to me, little Shirley. Once a year, I get to just release. I go and I dance and I chat with my friends and I hang out and I just get to release. That's what carnival is. A lot of it. It's just these 2 weeks, roughly, where you just chat with your friends, your family, hang out, eat, drink, dance, enjoy yourself. Let things chill until you come back to them. You release your stress. So I'm inviting you to come. Fatima, it would be so good to see you here, to have you here. In the interim, we are in preparation for that, for making this a very special one, especially after these 3 years of COVID, these 3 years of lockdown and rebuilding and refinding ourselves and so on. I think this year gets to be a time when we just literally intentionally repair and make up for and put behind us all of the stresses and the pains and the loss and the grief and the anxiety of the last 3 years, and just literally focus on ourselves, rebuild ourselves, repurpose ourselves, if you for the better term, and then in preparation for the rest of our lives. So many of us have come out of this dark time, like we do, in any of the dark times in our personal lives, and we just kind of pull ourselves together and keep going and keep going and keep going. What I'm saying is that this year, let's be intentional about putting ourselves in a position to thrive again, being intentional about our healing, our restoration, our rebuilding, and directing it and guiding it. And I think of it kind of like I think of little Montserrat, this little island that I love and I live in most of the time nowadays. Is over the last 27 years, we've been having a really, really rough time. We had a volcanic eruption. We were displaced and lost all kinds of things: land, lives, property, culture, our sense of being, our sense of self, even. And right now we're under pressure again, because you might know that Montserrat is still a British colony. And the geopolitics of the world is having it so that right now the pressure is on Montserrat, pushing us back into colonialization, for want of a better term. No matter how you put it, that's what it is. And we are trying so hard to rebuild ourselves from the disaster and the deprivation, destitution of these 27 years, and having to fight the pressures from administering powers and larger countries. And I'm working really hard in that. As a matter of fact, this morning, when I got up this morning, before we lost electricity, I was at work, pushing stuff out in social media to galvanize people and have people think about where we are and where we want to go. And I'm saying that the same thing for women, for us this year. Montserrat is doing that. We are working to find ourselves and rebuild ourselves intentionally and with a specific direction. And I am suggesting and creating a space here at the Women's Leadership Circle for women to do that after these years of pain and grief. And we still are reading the articles and the surveys and the reports that are still reporting how women are still suffering the ravages of COVID. And I don't just mean physical, the social, professional, community ravages of the pandemic, which, like every other bad thing, affects women in ways that it does not affect men, and hurts women and girls in ways that it doesn't do men and boys. And so, because, like I keep saying, my work is both women and Montserrat. My work is the elevation of women and Montserrat, the empowerment of women and people of Montserrat. I spend my days doing both, and so much of one corresponds to what's going on with the other. The 27 years of devastation and destitution that Monza has been experiencing, and I know which we're, and out of which we're now trying to pull ourselves, kind of corresponds to the last 3 years of destitution, deprivation, um, loss that we all suffered during COVID, and out of which we're trying to pull ourselves, both as women, women as a group, and as individuals. And so they work together. They work together, and I am. I don't know how else to say that except that I wish I didn't have to do this job, but I feel very privileged and honored that I get to play this part in it. And I am doing my part. I'm doing my part as best I possibly can. And that is why I'm asking you to join me. Let's do this. Let's do this for women. And honestly, like I said, they're both so much front and center of my work. They're indivisible, really. They're indivisible, really. And so when I think of, that's why I combined my work with women with my work with Montserrat for Elevation 2023, because so that our final end of year celebration on the day that we call All Year's Day, which is the end of the year, the All Year's Day is the day before New Year's Day. On that day, I get to share with you this little island that I love so much, the people, the women of this little island that I love so much. I want to share them with you. And Elevation 2023 allows me to both do my work for women and for Montserrat and share one with the other. And I'm really excited by this, I have to say. I'm really excited by this. And putting my all and everything into it this year. So the thing I just wanted to leave with you today, there's music going by. Listen. There's a guy, a friend of mine. So anyway, the question I was asking this weekend, asking people to look at this weekend is, who are you? Who are you? It's a big, big question. It's a deep, deep question. And it's a critical question. It needs an answer. I'm going to leave it with you. Who are you? Because we're working on that. Two things we want to clarify this year and get really, really solid and committed to. Who am I and what do I want? Who are you and what do you want? In order to figure out what you want and to truly understand what you want and why, and I guess that would be a third question. Why do you want this? Not I guess, actually, there is that third question. Why do you want this? In order to get to that, you have to understand who you are. You have to get to know. And yes, I know. We all think we know who we are. We all think we do. And we do to some extent. But most of us, most of the time, do not dig deep into who we are. There's an exercise that I do with people when I do live trainings. It's dyad. You do it in dyad. And people, I mean, it's used for different questions and different trainings and so on. But this particular one is, who are you? Who are you? One person just asks the other person repeatedly, who are you? No judgment, no responding to any response, just who are you? The person gives an answer. Who are you? Give an answer. Who are you? Give an answer. And you don't challenge any answer or agree with anything. Just have them dig and dig and dig and dig and dig and dig and dig. You'll be amazed at the things that come up. And what always strikes me as interesting is the point where people get frustrated. What do you mean, who am I? I had people say, I just told you. And so, who are you? Who are you? And all kinds of things happen. People crack open, people settle down, people hunker down, all kinds of things happen. Ask yourself that. Who are you? Who are you? And see what answers you get. Some of the exercises we're going to be doing this week, and I'm sending out, I've begun to send out the exercises for who are you. One of them is my I am poem. I told you about that before. Check the website, shirleyosborne.com. Go to the about page, and you'll see it's a page about me and the work that I do, the work that I've done, and it has my I am poem on it. I did a video of my I am poem. One version of it, because it changes, obviously, because life just kind of moves along. But check out the I am poem. And I'm going to send out, I've been sending out to members. Other people can get a copy too of the I am poem instructions. Just drop me your email either below here or go to shirleyosborne.com in the pop-up box. Drop me your email. I'll send you the my I am poem instructions, and I'll also sorry, put you on the list to receive the elevator. The elevator is our weekly newsletter, goes out every Wednesday night, Thursday morning. It's really, really cool stuff about how to elevate your health, your style, your wealth, personal power, and your relationships. If you want the I am poem, drop me your email somewhere and I'll send it off to you. No cost, absolutely no cost. And go do the exercise. It actually has 3 parts. The first part you do by yourself. My I am poem, do my I am poem by myself. The second part, you involve somebody, a trusted person. Sorry. And then the third part, you just go right back and do it yourself. And the challenge is, who do you want to share it with, if anyone? You don't have to share it with anyone. But the power that resides in declaring to the world who you are, who you have found and have decided, by the way, that you are, the power that is in that is indescribable. Declaring yourself to the world is indescribable. I wish for you that you will try it. So drop me your email. Let me send you the I am poem. In the meantime, keep asking yourself the question, who am I? 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 And we'll catch up tomorrow. I'm so sorry. We'll be on again tomorrow. So until then, you take good care.